Hello, my adoring fans. You join me watching a very spoilt fiance eating another breakfast in bed, another masterfully cooked bowl of cereal. And here we are, sending off some postcodes, so there's a little teaser for what's to come. Anyway, then here's another day of getting on the tube / MTR, heading off to different locations. But in this case, mostly just two. So the first one we went to is a clock tower, which is an old British thing, which we forgot to go to yesterday, even though it was right nearby. Unfortunately, it was on the way to the main event today. Now, some of you who know me well may be able to guess what this is. If I tell you it's some kind of Buddha, is it going to be a small Buddha? Is it going to be a medium-sized Buddha? Is it going to be a big Buddha? Or is it going to be a giant Buddha? So it is the big Buddha. But I think it's underselling it to call it a big Buddha. I think it's a mega Buddha. Buddha? Oopsie. Slip of the tongue on that one. But anyway, we're back at this train station that I've been to before. I'm pretty sure they built some more buildings around the corner. So, Hong Kong's crazy. But one thing I didn't do the last time I was here was take this. It was closed. I had to take some janky, 1.5 hour bus instead, so I was very relieved to see that this was operational. And off we go. Now, I think, as you'll see here, it says 5.1 kilometer, oh my god, 5.1 kilometers. And yeah, it's pretty long. I think it's even longer than that, because that was only from the first stop. So pretty hefty little trip we were doing. Saw lots of good views of things. Kind of felt like we were in Jurassic Park. Kind of felt like skiing. So on the way out, Maddie and I were sharing it with two Asian people who I don't think were Chinese, but were Asian of some variety. Fortunately, didn't speak much English, and we didn't speak any of their language. Oh, what's that over the hill? So it felt like it was a private, I don't know what to call it, private car. And on the way back, it actually was. So it was very fun, very good time. Here we are, looking at a giant lucky cat, looking at an arch, and oh my god, what's this? It's a giant Buddha. And that was how we felt the whole time. That was how we felt the whole time, really. Whatever you're doing, you're chilling, you just look up, giant Buddha. This is a general who was Year of the Dog related, and I'm Year of the Dog, so I took particular interest in that. But before we went to go see Papa Birds, we went to go see this monastery. We also saw some monks as well. I guess you'd expect that. But this was pretty cool. Very colourful. And it, again, claimed to have 10,000 Buddhas. I think it may have had 10,000 Buddhas, but it didn't have any giant-ish Buddhas. Well, no, average, normal-sized Buddhas. Obviously, it had a giant Buddha, as we are about to see here. So I still think we made a good decision going to the previous 10,000 Buddhas located.
Wow, this Buddha be big.
But this, I love it. It was cool. The weather was so much better today than the last time I was here. It looked so much cooler. They had a bit of scaffolding, but it really, it didn't matter. Because if you were far enough away, you couldn't tell there was scaffolding. When you're close up, it's just so big. Yeah, it's really cool. Got some really cool views from it as well. So, he's sitting in a good spot. But this kind of made me think of how crazy Hong Kong is, because you kind of think of it as it's just a really bustling city. But then what we saw yesterday when we were visiting, or not yesterday, 2 days ago when we were visiting Norris, and also kind of yesterday where we went up the steps, with the 10,000 Buddhas just being hidden behind a car park. They have all these cool things, or cool landscapes, or it is really like a mini country. It's not just a city. Whereas with Singapore, it felt more like it was just a city. Although I'm sure they have this as kind of thing as well. I guess they must have it like this as well, because they've got some fields and stuff. Well, not fields, but forests on the map. Lots of cows. They got some forests on the map. But it's just cool how it's not just a city. It is actually a city and another, type of biome around it. I'm kind of rambling, but it's cool. I enjoyed it. It was good to pop out to these little villages on the outskirts and stuff like that. Anyway, then we're on our way back down. Private. Here we go. Treating Maddie nice. Not sure how. There was definitely people in the queue. Not sure why they didn't get in. Guess they just hate us. Got a cool view of the airport. We'll be going there in a few days. But then, this was the craziest thing we saw all day. What a madman. What an absolute madman. This is insane. insane. I can't tell you, this was so stressfully high. I mean, not quite as high as when I did my bungee jump and my swing in New Zealand, but obviously not as high as the skydive, but very close, you know, very high up. This dude's balls of steel. He didn't give a shit. It was windy and everything. Yeah, anyway, got back on the tube, walked past these little cool ducks, which is quite exciting. Got back on another tube. Can you guess where we're going now? What is Alex's favourite activity? Maddie, can you guess where we're going? No, we've just come from the giant Buddha. We're going to basketball. Well, you can tell that Maddie's paying attention. But here we are. We played a bit of one-on-one. Didn't play against anyone else because we were too exhausted. But we did go to the supermarket. We will try and play against people tomorrow.
Fried chicken
I forgot to film our dinner, so here is the remaining bit of food that we have on the flat. Except for some cereal. But anyway, I hope everyone's having a good day. Adios!